per hour, as highlighted in red. In Mie Prefecture, rain has topped 500 millimeters in some places since it started yesterday. A landslide warning has been issued. Some areas in Mie and Yamaguchi prefectures are at risk of flooding as water levels in rivers are rapidly rising. Meteorological agency officials are calling on people to remain on the alert for possible landslides and floods.
Global stock markets are continuing to fall. The Nikkei average on the Tokyo stock lower today. It temporarily lost nearly 800 points during morning trading. The index regained some ground later in the morning, but a rush of sell orders towards the end of the day pushed it down again. The one-day swing exceeded 1,000 points.
Tonight, Wall Street meltdown. The Dow plunged more than 1,000 points.
On Monday in New York, concerns over the prospects for the global economy pushed the Dow Jones Industrial Average down more than 1,000 points temporarily. That's the largest one-day fall in its history. The index finished the day more than 580 points lower. Tokyo Stock Exchange opened for the day. Within half an hour, the Nikkei average lost nearly 800 points. It tumbled below 18,000 for the first time in 6 months. This person says it's very worrying. Another prays that the market will stop its slide. Another says Japanese companies aren't doing as badly as this. He says the prices of their shares will pick up again sooner or later. This online brokerage firm in Tokyo says that it received inquiries from twice as many individual investors as usual. The number surged as the Nikkei plunged. Yamada is chief producer at Kabu.com Securities. He says a lot of customers said they are worried about the drop. He adds there are many others who think now is the time to buy and want to open new accounts. At 10:30 a.m. Japan time, the stock market in Shanghai opened sharply lower as concerns over a Chinese economic slowdown spread. The Shanghai Composite Index ended the day more than 7% lower, dipping below the psychologically important 3,000 mark for the first time in about 8 months. Tsutomu Tokuda is investment analyst with Mitsubishi UFJ Morgan Stanley Securities. He says a growing number of investors are losing confidence in the Chinese government's ability to prop up the market. Tokuda says investors are increasingly disappointed that the government hasn't been able to take decisive measures to shore up the share prices. He says the investors are selling their shares out of desperation. In Tokyo, the Nikkei average had a wild swing today. The index finished the day at 17,806, down 733 points from Monday's close. NHK's Hajime Yoshino explains what lies behind the fluctuations in the share prices. He says global stock investors are becoming increasingly uncertain about what the Chinese authorities can do to stop the continuing plunge in Shanghai's stock prices. He adds that investors are concerned that the plunge in the market may be a sign that something really serious may have started happening in the Chinese economy, an economy which is now deeply connected to the rest of the world. The key index in Shanghai ended the day below the psychologically important 3,000 mark. He says we will see what China may try to do to prop up the share prices, and adds it is also important to see how the markets in Europe will move later this evening. Major markets in Europe have opened higher as investors market prices.
News yesterday highlighted the importance of science. The Japanese space cargo ship Dotore docked at the International Space Station. Japanese astronaut Yui operated a robotic arm to catch hold of it. Fellow Japanese astronaut Koichi Wakata took charge of communication on the ground at NASA. Many Japanese children watched the work of the two Japanese astronauts. Science subjects that children learn at elementary and junior high school are the foundation of space development and other space-related activities. Starting April this year, nationwide scholastic achievement tests in science were given to all 6 grades at elementary schools and to third-year junior high school students. Fukui, Toyama, and Akita prefectures ranked highest. Teachers in Fukui Prefecture have been working hard to get students interested in science through experiments and observations. This year, about 2.13 million 6th graders and third-year junior high school students took the nationwide scholastic achievement tests. In all subjects, the disparity between low-scoring areas and the national average became smaller. Senior Education Ministry official Masaharu Shiozaki says the overall academic standard has risen again, as it did in the previous year. In the past, tests in Japanese and mathematics were compulsory for all students. For the first time, tests in science were given to all students. Test results indicate many students found it difficult to analyze the results of observations and experiments. They also had difficulty getting answers in written forms. Prefecture marked the highest performance in the test for junior high school students. The prefecture has been doing something unique to make students interested in science. This year's theme is to make 2 types of soft-boiled eggs in perfect forms, one which has a soft egg white and another with a soft egg yolk. This was the question at the Fukui Science and Mathematics Grand Prix held on Sunday. Students competed in groups to see if they could get the right answer from experiments. Using 10 eggs, they were required to find out at what temperature and in how many minutes they could make the 2 types of soft-boiled eggs. The time limit was 2 hours. Some teams changed the temperatures by looking at how the eggs were turning out. Other teams separated egg whites and yolks to find out the temperature that they hardened at. The students are tested if they have knowledge on heat conduction and if they would notice that egg whites and yolks harden at different temperatures. One of the ideas was to boil the eggs for a short time at high temperature to harden only the white. Then the eggs could be put in iced water before the yolk gets warmer. The students present the results of their experiments by themselves. The student says the egg white hardened completely at 10 minutes 30 seconds and at the temperature of 95.5 degrees. The student says he observed that the egg white hardens faster because it's closer to the shell and gets heated faster. This student says science raises many questions
some efforts to address the problem of bullying in school. The Osaka City Board of Education has worked out guidelines for better addressing the problem. The set of basic guiding principles calls for strict punitive measures when teachers or school officials are found to have covered up information concerning bullying. The Education Ministry, meanwhile, has taken an unusual step, requesting regional education boards nationwide to have schools redo their surveys on bullying. The Osaka City Board of Education today finalized the guidelines for addressing the problem of bullying at school. The guidelines say that currently victims of bullying are not identified as such until allegations of bullying are confirmed. It says the dignity of children cannot be guaranteed completely with this way of thinking. They call for strict punitive action if teachers or school officials are found to have hushed up information regarding bullying and didn't take prompt action. Professor Katsumi Akao of Kansei University has this comment. He says the Osaka City Education Board has shown its resolve to tackle the problem of bullying head-on. But the professor says he's concerned that the release of the guidelines may make teachers and school officials less willing to be involved in the issue of bullying. Professor Akao says there is the risk that the guidelines may be fostering a culture in schools in which bullying problems are becoming susceptible to being hushed up. There has been another major development on the issue.